Hey everyone, Dan Mortimer with eXp Realty bringing you another weekly Las Vegas and Henderson real estate market update. This is for data as of April 14th, 2025. We're already halfway through the month of April. It's crazy. Time is just flying by this year. It is insane. Okay, let's dive into the data for the last 7 days and see what's going on. We're seeing some increases in a couple of things. So first, with new listings, we saw 1,186 new listings hit the market in the last 7 days. We also saw 177 properties come back on the market. Buyer and seller had a deal in place. Deal broke off for whatever reason. Buyer didn't perform, seller didn't perform. Property goes back on the market after they cancel the deal. 911 properties had a price decrease of some kind. We don't know exactly all the ranges, some of them $1, some of them $100,000, as I mentioned in past videos, but 911 price decreases of some kind in the last 7 days. Now, getting into the under contracts, we had 330 homes that went into under contract show status and another 486 that went into under contract no show status. So in total, you're talking about 816, if my math is correct, 816 compared to 1186 new listings. So gap is widening. As far as the solds, we had 546 homes sold in the last 7 days and another 100 in coming soon status. For those of you that are new to these videos, coming soon basically is like a pre-marketing status where the home can be listed in the MLS, but it's not necessarily publicly available. Coming soon status means that it will be active on the MLS within the next 30 days or less, usually a lot less. Usually they'll just use coming soon for a few days while they get photos and things up. Anyway, getting into the active numbers, we currently have 6,237 single family homes active on the market, 1,415 condos, and 990 townhomes. So I think the biggest things that stick out to me in the last 7 days is that number of new listings continues to climb, and it continues to outpace the number of homes going under contract. Now, part of the challenge with this data is, it paints a picture of the market as a whole, but it doesn't necessarily speak to price ranges. What do the numbers look like for homes under 600,000, under $1 million, under $2 million? What does it look like in certain communities? So there's some variance here where I can see how people might get the wrong idea about the real estate market as a whole. But very interesting to see, that gap is continuing to increase between the number of new listings coming on the market and the number of properties actually going under contract. This week we're talking about 370 more homes coming on the market than there were going under contract. So it is something to keep an eye on. As of March, we're still seeing the median sale price at a record high. So prices continue to stay strong. I've seen a lot of homes in kind of that entry level price range, maybe 500,000 and under. There's still a ton of demand there, but it depends on the neighborhood. Some neighborhoods it's really slow, homes are sitting, and others they can't keep them on the market and they don't, they're moving super quick. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out, because now that we are into the spring months, this is typically the busier time of the year. So my expectation has been that we would see the number of new listings go up, but we would also see the number of properties going under contract go up, with the gap being pretty close. To me, seeing 370 more homes coming on the market than going under contract, that's a pretty big gap. That's what, 30% roughly between those two numbers. So it'll be interesting to see if that continues to be the same as we get into warmer and warmer months and as activity picks up more and more. Like I said, from the looks of it, it doesn't look like the prices have necessarily been going down, but we do still see this continuing trend of sellers overpricing their homes. Even though they talked to a real estate professional about it, maybe they didn't necessarily get all the information they need to make an informed decision. For one reason or another, home gets overpriced, sits on the market for a long time, doesn't sell. it expires, they list it with another agent, and vicious cycle continues. But for the most part, it's just a lot of people are still not pricing their homes competitively to sell. I think the good thing about this market that I've been talking about, I feel like I've talked about it in almost every one of these videos, but to me, this is an ideal market. Not in interest rates, not in price. I get it. That stuff a lot of people feel is too high. They don't like it. It's not good, whatever. But as far as the actual environment, the actual market to be buying in, this is it. This is the ideal market, because you don't have a feeding frenzy of buyers that are coming in with cash, coming in $20, $30, $40, $50,000 over asking price. You don't have 2 homes to choose from, and you have 4 hours to get an offer in before somebody else scoops it out from California. As a buyer, you have options. There are very few communities that do not have multiple home options available. And in most cases, if the home you want is not available, it's very likely something similar will pop up soon enough. So having choices, and I guess I'll preface as well by saying not every seller is going to be this way, but generally speaking, with the market conditions being the way that they are right now, sellers are willing to play ball. They're willing to be flexible with you. I've seen a lot of people getting discounts on price, getting closing cost credits, flexibility with contingencies, repair credits, actual repairs being made, appraisal gaps fixed. So sellers and buyers are working together again, which to me represents an ideal market. If you have an extremely heavy buyer's market, buyers take advantage of sellers. Sellers are really frustrated. They lower their price, and then buyers come in even lower and just take advantage. And it's the same thing on the seller side. Tons of demand, sellers have tons of buyers to choose from, and it makes it really difficult for buyers to get a fair shake in there because seller has all the leverage. So to me, this represents a much more balanced, even keel market. And again, say what you will, prices, interest rates, I get that. But as far as the overall market conditions being more balanced, I think this is pretty ideal. And we don't know how long it's going to last. We could see it go either way. I know there's been a lot of stuff fluctuating over the last couple of weeks, but that's what we got for the last 7 days. So my apologies for the long ramble here. But I hope you guys got some value out of this video. Like I said, if you could, there's 2 ways that you can support this channel. You can subscribe. Think of it as like following me on Instagram or Facebook or some other platform. It gives you notifications anytime I post new content. Try to post a couple videos a week, at least one of these weekly market update videos. I do property walkthroughs, I do monthly market updates, I do news videos, anything and everything, all kinds of stuff. So the other way that you can support this channel is I'll put a link in the description of this video where you can set up a one-on-one meeting with me. It gives us a chance to get to know each other a little bit and allows me to learn more about your situation and what your real estate goals are, so we can put a game plan in place to help you to achieve that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you at the next one.